So, first of all, thanks to everyone who's working in this field. We're all pressing at the frontier. Uh-oh.
I'm just going to put your
Oh,
slide up.
thank you.
Use the space bar to go forward.
What?
Just use the space bar to go forward.
I had already mastered that. I think we all know, and you can already feel it in the conversation, that we're at a moment where society is changing so profoundly, and that impact investing is part of our feeling our way forward to the new architecture. And so just the facts, the rate of change for the last 3 centuries has been going up exponentially. Second fact, the demand for repetition is an exact mirror curve also going down exponentially. So the old world, think assembly line law firm, is sort of the walking dead. And instead, every person is bumping one another faster and faster, broader and broader. And we're evolving into a fluid, open team of teams. A team means everyone is a change maker. That requires a really different architecture, and so impact investing and all of our work to push that forward is part of feeling our way to the new architecture. That architecture puts people in charge. It's an everyone a change maker world, so that's an element you'll see running through here, and impact investing is part of that empowering process. Now, there are 3 different levels of impact, and it's very important to understand that because they're different games. So there's direct service. We do need someone to build an organic farm and make it work, and that farm needs investors. But then the next level is pattern change, and that's where entrepreneurs come in. And then the third level is mindset change. So the whole field of environment is a big mindset change. Ashoka worked to create the construct of social entrepreneurship, which empowers people all over the world. That's a mindset change. So I want to make this suggestion, not that the first level is not important, it is, but the biggest opportunity is in the second and third levels. There's a reason that venture capital is so attractive and difficult. So let me start with, having mastered my first bit of technology here, introduce you to Sarah, who's an Ashoka Fellow from Tunisia, and she is working on climate change there. She empowers individual farmers so they figure out the right mix of energy, land, water, etc. And she introduces things like acacia trees and different marketing structures. So the average farmer has their income go up by 60%. She's at a couple of 100,000 acacia trees. Her goal for the country is 2.9 million, and it's moving out to other countries. Now, there's another thing about her story I just want to tell you about. She started getting her power at 11. And at 15, she started, as an Ashoka Youth Venture, beginning to feel her way towards this. Now, this is really important, and in everyone a change maker world, it is essential for every young person to know they're a change maker in their teens. If you don't do that and you haven't practiced it, you're not going to be in this game. Second point, the environmental field has to develop the next generation of environmental leaders. Well, if we invest in the young Sarahs, there's not going to be any shortage of environmental leaders for the next generation. So those are all multiple levels of very high impact. So let me just quickly give you 1 or 2 other examples, and you'll see the pattern. It's very common all across the world that the environmental movement, local groups, no one can deal with the industrial pollution problems. They're just too complicated to. What do you do with transport and freight if you're a local group in Brazil, or a business, or a government? So another fellow has, okay, let's make sure we get those tools to everyone, and you can see the power of that. As the density of people relative to environment increases, multiple use becomes more and more the framework that makes sense. Well, that's a whole other dimension where entrepreneurship comes in. Right, so you can see the pattern here. Let me just show you, these sorts of investments pay off. We have 3,700 Ashoka Fellows, and over half have changed national policy within 5 years of launch. 3/4 have changed the pattern in their field and averaged 3 times at the national level within 5 years. And over 90% have had independent institutions copy their innovation. Now, these are all measures of pattern change. If you try to measure the impact of an entrepreneur using the measures that are appropriate for direct service, which is what scaling usually means, you're messing the situation up. If the goal is pattern change, you got to measure pattern change. So why be optimistic? Well, first, we are in this wonderful transition moment to an everyone a change maker world. That's the main reason to be optimistic. When everyone is a change maker, there's no way the problems outrun the solutions. And it's an inherently more equal world because everyone is a giver, everyone is powerful, and everyone gets to express love and respect in action, which is what we all appreciate. So this is a much, much better world. It's just a complicated world to get through. We're going through this transition. So the second reason, I like Ron's points about no one ever heard of this stuff that we think is common. So we're in the process of inventing all this new stuff because we have to. This is a completely opposite, not just different, an opposite world. And we need to find and support the entrepreneurs who work on the pattern change and the mindset change. So thank you.